Hi everyone, welcome to the American Computer Enthusiast Show. My name's Steve Reeves and I'll be your host. Our show tonight is our annual holiday software show. We'll be taking a look at some great software, games and things and utilities for the PC and the Macintosh. We got a couple of great guests, some great things to take a look at, so stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Portions of this show have been made possible by PC People, Houston's user-friendly source for business software, serving the business and academic communities. Call PC People at 789-6300 and talk to our dedicated staff when you're looking for intelligent answers to your software needs. And by Total CAD Systems, specializing in the sales, service, and support of CAD software and hardware for the PC, Macintosh, and Sun. Total CAD Systems is an authorized dealer for AutoCAD, the leader in computer-aided design software. Call 721-CADD. And by GDT Reprographic Services. Providing documentation to the professional design industry using advanced technologies and personalized service. GDT, where you're more than a number. Call for free pickup and delivery.
The old computer you're putting out to pasture has the power to give new life. Computers you're going to scrap can keep millions of people from ending up on the scrap heap and being written off. Old computers donated to the National Christina Foundation are used to train people with differing abilities so they're alive with the skills society needs. Donate your old computers and other equipment to NCF. Call 1-800-CHRISTINA. Machines you can write off. People you can't.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. In case you just tuned in, this is the American Computer Enthusiast Show. Today is December 10th, because sometimes this show does repeat, so I want to make sure everyone knows when it's live. It is a live show tonight. It is a call-in show, and you can call in. The phone number is 861-6283. We've got a couple of great guests that you can ask any kind of question you want to know about games on the PC or the Mac. This is our annual software show where we're going to be talking about games. Usually, every year we do a show on all kinds of different software, but we've had such a great response about from games. Everybody wants to know about games. The last couple of shows, people have been bringing up games, so we decided to do a show specifically on games, on the PCs and the Macs. So what we've done is we've got two guests here. We've got Robert Lewis. He's across the table from me over here. I'll just point over here. He's actually with the HOG, which is the Houston area Apple Users Group. He's the Game SIG coordinator. And we've got Vin Young. Got to make sure I say that right. Young, and he's from Babbage's Software here in Houston. And so what we got to do, I guess what we do first is just, now that I introduced you, Robert, why don't you tell us, I'll give you 20 seconds, not really, but tell us a little about yourself, maybe what you do and how you got into this game, sort of a game nut.
Well, basically, around 1986, I had my first Mac, and I used to go to the Houston area Apple Users Group all the time. And I always went there talking about games. And it seemed before me, there really was not a game coordinator. And before I knew it, one of them just dropped into my lap. And that is where it all began. And I began looking at and calling all the different software companies across the country. And since that time, I probably have demonstrated, reviewed, etc., at least 200 to 300 different pieces of software that have come out on the Mac. Besides that, I'm a teacher for the Houston Independent School District. I work at the Media Film Library. And I'm a computer consultant.
All right.
And I've done a little beta testing on the side.
All right. Great. Well, we'll talk about all kinds of, we'll show all kinds of things that you brought and everything else. I want to make sure everybody knows about our two guests. Vin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, exactly what you do, and you say you work at Babbage's, right?
Yes, I'm a pre-med student at University of Houston, and I work here at Babbage's. On my off time, my computer's my hobby, and I just love games. If you know what Babbage's carries, they have a lot of games on it.
You work at the Sharpstown. You work at the Sharpstown?
Yes, I work at Sharpstown Babbage's.
Babbage's?
Yes.
And they handle all kinds of different software, not just games, though, right?
They handle from Windows products to productivity to education A lot of good, neat stuff for little kids.
But you're the game guy. I
Yes,
guess,
I'm
right?
the big game guy with all the computer stuff.
All right, great. One other thing before we go any further, I wanted to make sure that I say, well, I guess the phone number's up on the screen right now. I don't have to even say that. But we also have a hotline that we take messages and people, can leave messages, leave comments or whatever you want to do. The phone number, and we'll have a couple of slides that come up and say that also. The phone number is 587-5369. That's 587-5369. And we'll show that. A slide will come up and we can talk about, you can write that down and leave any kind of comment. And that's like one of the reasons we're doing this show specifically on games is because so many people called in and left messages that they want to see a show on games. So that's why we decided this. And again, the phone number, like it shows on the screen, is 861-6283. We'll take calls, questions, comments, what games you like. I think that might be a good thing to call in and tell us what kind of games you like, and what maybe some games you don't like, I guess, or something you bought that you don't like. I guess what we had to do is, why don't we start off right at the beginning here? Well, I guess we'll start on this side here. We want to start on this side? Yeah, we'll start on this side. I want you to tell us, well, at Babbage's or straight across the board, I'm not sure if they have like a top 10 or a top 15. What's like the top 10 or 15 games for like the PC? And then we'll ask the same thing of you. Ask you tell us what Robert, and ask us tell us what like the top 10 games are, what the most favorite games are that are out there right now. What are some of them?
Yeah, right now, King Quest 6 is one of our top sellers. Comanche Maximum Overkill is one of the best helicopter simulators out there. And we have other products like Front Page Sports Football. That's the best football I've seen out in the market.
Why don't you have some boxes here that we could just show? Maybe
yes.
pick up a couple of them. I'm not sure. It's great when you get off camera, isn't it? That's great. Pretend he's not looking down there, all right?
Okay. We have Front Page Sports Football here.
Can you see that?
And this is Castles. Castles 2 is a new release by Interplay, and this is the sequel to Castles, and this is real popular at the moment.
Now these are all, this is probably a dumb question, these are all like color and whatever.
Yes.
Because I know the Max version, some of them are black, work on black and white, or monochrome screens and color and VGA.
Most of our new games require color monitors and faster PCs.
But this is a pretty good one here, huh?
Yes.
I need to buy my brother-in-law a game, so I need to figure out which one for Christmas. I need to figure out which I need to buy him here. Okay, what other games you got over there?
Star Control is a sequel to Star Control, very popular.
Star
It's
Control?
going to be a big hit this season.
I don't want to get any glare on there. Can you see that? Star Control. We're
And-
bringing these boxes up so that people can actually see what they look like. So when you look, a lot of times you say the names and you have no idea what they actually, it's hard to find in the stores. We'll have a big old pile. We have more software here than we could ever show in 1 hour, so we'll just keep going through and this is the Castle
We have
2.
Castles 2.
Castles 2, Siege and Conquest. We've already got phone calls coming in, too.
For a classic board game, this is very popular right now.
Monopoly?
Monopoly.
All
This
right.
version, this particular version is for Windows. It also comes in the DOS version also.
All right. What are prices on a lot of these games? Are they expensive? Or?
No, most of these games now start from anywhere as low as $30 all the way up to $60. But most of these nice games, like this one here, is only $40.
All right, great. Everybody usually has a budget at Christmas, and I have like a $40 gift idea. This is your $40 gift idea. It's Monopoly right here. All right, what else you
And
got?
some of the
Red Baron.
uh,
Red Baron. Can you hear the computer there? The computer is going crazy here. That's the Mac over there, whistling to tell us it's on or something.
Aces of the Pacific, one of the popular flight simulation that's out at the moment.
All right.
And
What else you got here? If I pile these up, no one's going to see me. There probably a lot of people will be happy about that.
okay, Lynx Pro 386 is a very popular Lynx program.
All right. I know I like golf. The golf, Microsoft Golf, does this work? Or is this similar? How does that?
Yes, Microsoft Golf actually uses the courses. It uses the courses from the original Lynx, and you could actually play those courses on Microsoft Golf.
All right. And this is what is a 386 version? It has to run on 386 or above. Is that what that
Yes,
means?
it runs in the true 32-bit mode, and it gets much better resolution, better graphics, and it's much faster.
All right. Great.
And
What else you got?
some nice mystery includes Sherlock Holmes.
Mystery games, Sherlock Holmes.
And
We're going to be showing some of these games too. By the way, we've got a PC and a Macintosh hooked up, so we can go through and show how some of these games work.
yes, so this is probably the biggest strategy game out on the market at the moment, is Civilization. Very popular.
All right. Civilization. Okay.
Yes.
Great. That's pretty well.
Yes.
Not one we do. Same thing for the Mac. I can't run over there and hold them up, so why don't you show us some of the most popular Mac games that are on the market right now. These we picked like 10 games here. Why don't you pick like maybe the top 10 games that are out there?
Well, actually, before we even do that, what all those noises that everybody's hearing, this is a good oddity game, or not a game, but a gift that if anybody's into Star Trek, this is made by Berkeley, and it's called After Dark Star Trek 25. And what it is a bunch of different modules that will show you different things from Star Trek with built-in sounds from the actual actors. This is one of their other modules that is coming on right now that is in their other kits. It will work with their regular kits, and it will work by itself.
It's a screensaver? Is that what
It's a
it really is?
screensaver.
All right.
Those that don't know what a screensaver is, it prevents burn-in when you leave your monitor on. A lot of times you leave it on for an hour or two, you can cause your images to burn into the screen.
All right.
Now, for games, this one just came out. It's called Heaven and Earth. If you're into a brain teaser and you like good puzzles, this is going to be one of the hottest games on the Mac for this year.
All right.
Just came out within the last month.
All right.
Everybody loves miniature golf. This program is incredible. There was a game that was made called Billiards. Some of the Mac enthusiasts might remember it. This takes billiards one step further. It's totally insane. And there's a color course on here that is incredible. There's a pinball machine.
Called Hole-in-One Miniature Golf. Everybody see it? Everyone likes miniature golf except my wife.
Another game that's very hot, battle chess. Everybody thinks chess is a boring game. When you got to see your pieces in battle, just go back to when Chewbacca was playing R2-D2 and it came down to let the Wookiee win. That'll bring the memories up of this.
What else you got?
Spectrum Holobyte has just released Falcom MC. Now I have to emphasize, this is a color-only game.
Right.
So if you have a black and white, this is not for you.
All right. Like we have here. We won't be able to show that game today.
Okay, if you want your kids to learn, we're in America's Past. It's Carmen Sandiego. This is about the 5th or 6th game to come out in this series. It's one of the hottest ones around.
They have like, we're in the
world, we're in Europe, we're in USA, we're in America's Past.
Those seem to be really good, real popular for the kids.
Well, there's a TV show on, too.
Right.
On Channel 8 at 4 o'clock.
Right.
Let's see what else we can show here. Oh, this one just came out on the Mac. Again, color only. And it's called Stellar 7. It's an arcade action game. Very impressive game. It's made by a company that is published through Sierra Online. I've seen their graphics. They're excellent.
All right. What else you got over there? That's a good
if you don't fall apart. A lot of parents are afraid on the Mac that when they put their kids at it, they're going to tear up all their applications. This is called Kid Desk. And basically what it is a desktop meant for young children. They cannot access your files, and you control what they can access. It protects your hard drive so it cannot be damaged. A perfect gift for a 5-year-old.
All right. Great.
Let's see. One or two more we'll show.
All right.
This is probably one of the hottest games in the PC universe. It has finally made it into the Mac universe, and it's called Lemmings. And it has all sorts of traps, paths. It's a puzzle. You got to get the lemmings from point A to point B. But getting there, that's the trick.
All right. Okay. We're going to need to take a quick break here. In case anyone just tuned in, this is the American Computer Enthusiast Show, and our subject tonight, or our show, is actually the Holiday Software Show. We're taking a look at all kinds of games for the PC and the Mac. Make sure you call in at that phone number, 861-6283. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And the Texas tuxedos. He go everywhere he goes. Can help us make a great big splash if we all get rid of roadside trash. And to all this message reaches, don't forget about our beaches. You lend a hand or fin. Come on, let's all pitch in. Don't mess with Texas.
He protects all living things in the forest. But he can't do it alone. don't play with matches. Put out your campfires. And never, ever forget the words of Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Like I always say, in case you just tuned in, this is the American Computer Enthusiast Show, and my name is Steve Reeves. And the show tonight is our annual holiday software show. We're taking a look at all kinds of different software games for the PC and the Mac. We've got them all over the desk here. We'll be taking a look not only at the boxes and to show what they actually look like, but we'll actually run some of the games so you can see how they work. We've already got the phone. There's already phone calls. We might as well start taking them. Let me do the first line. Jimmy, do you have a phone call?
Yeah, I sure do. Number one,
Oh, I guess you do have a phone. Do you have a
uh,
question? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Say again.
Do you have a question?
Oh.
I was a little mixed up there. Just don't pay attention to me. Yeah.
Number one, happy holidays to you three gentlemen. And let me tell you how happy I am that Ace has put this show on. I'm glad that the subject of computer gaming has come up. I've been a computer gamer for, 10 years now.
Great.
And I wanted to direct my comments to the gentleman that was representing the Apple products.
All right.
When we first started off playing computer simulations, and this goes back to the Apple IIe and IIc days, we had some fantastic games. For example, Rails West or Fighter Command. And these were not like arcade games. These were giant simulations, historical simulations or business simulations. Take 4 or 5 people and maybe 9 or 10 hours to play the games, and they were some of the most exciting gaming experiences I've ever had. I'd like to find out, number one, how could I get some of those earlier Apple game products? How could I get them to run on my IBM based PC-based system? Is there a way that I can run Apple software, Apple games on my IBM computer? Number one. And number two, I'd like the gentleman that's a teacher with HISD to give us his thoughts about how he thinks computer gaming can be used to facilitate the learning process in school. I personally believe this is the greatest contribution that the computer is going to make to our society, is when we learn how to get kids as excited about learning biology and geology and English in something that is as exciting to them as the computer can be.
Right.
I think we're going to make leaps and bounds. I'd like to hang up and just listen, but once again, sincere thanks for having a program like Ace.
Great. Thanks for calling.
You bet.
Now, those are two excellent questions.
Did you tell him to call or something?
No,
No, I'm just kidding.
but let's go ahead and tackle the first one. As far as trying to run an Apple IIe type program onto an IBM machine, you're kind of mixing oranges and apples. It's just not going to happen unless you are a programmer and you know how to rewrite a language. The codes are too different, too alien. About the only thing you can do is you can take a Mac LC with an Apple II card, and that will let you run Apple IIe programs on a Mac. But as far as trying to put those games or simulations, as you put it, that's not possible. You'd have to get the IBM version. If we were able to do that, you wouldn't have Apple and IBM. You'd have no separation between Apple and IBM. Now, the other question about schools. That question, that is right at the heart of things for me. I'm in the process and praying that I will be able to get into a situation with HISD where I can develop an educational resource area where I can have teachers come to do exactly that. Let them see what educational software is available. The biggest problem we have with educational software is there is a multitude of it out there. Right. People say there's not a lot on the Mac. I have at home 2 50-disc banks, 2 of them, that hold up to 50 discs. And they are filled to the limit with software I have received to review. The problem is getting people to know it exists and also getting through the bureaucracy. Right. You have to get it into school, you have to prove to them it's worth it being there, and you got to spend the manpower training.
Right.
And that's why it is hopeful that maybe a room will be developed where the teachers will have a place like a library to come to, where one person is there to help train them and show them. Here's a good example. This course can teach a lot. And the beauty of it is they're learning and they don't know it. I've taken programs like this into the classroom and just walked away from my Mac. You don't know how deeply involved they're getting into this. And we're talking about geography, we're talking about history.
In case they can't see, that's where in America's past is coming. I can't know if they can read that. I guess they can read that. And one other thing, those games are, like that one right there is available for the PC and the Mac, right?
Yes.
They are for PC.
A lot of the games that I do have here.
Educational type games are for both PCs and Macs, right?
Exactly. Another good example, Red Baron, if you'll hold it up, please. If you're in a class of physics, what better way to learn about flight than sitting down at a machine and flying a plane? Learn about aerodynamics. Bottom line. Or if you really want to get the idea of what it is like to really fly a jet,
Falcon.
you got Falcon MC.
Right. All right. Great. You want to take another?
I want to close.
Sorry.
The key thing is, even if it's just an arcade game, if there are puzzles to solve, you are making the kids do one thing that they don't use a lot of: critical thinking.
Even Monopoly, good for money.
Financial thinking. It's amazing.
Bankers.
You can
Teach them to
really
be
find
bankers.
educational use in almost any piece.
Right.
Even a role fantasy game, you've got to solve puzzles. You've got to put pieces together to make it work.
Right.
That's critical thinking, and that's the one thing we're not developing too much of in school.
And a lot of these adventure games having to type things in, having to type in words to get things through things.
It's all critical thinking.
Right. Let's take another question here, right? Or another call. See if I can get this right this time. Herb, do you have a question? Hello, Herb. Herb. Can you hear me, Herb? Hold on 1 second here. Jeannie, do you have a question?
Yes, this is Judy Boucher, and I have a question about the Mac and the PC. I'm looking for a game for the Mac,
All right.
which would be similar to a hunter's experience, and I don't mean like dragons, I mean like hunting deer or game of that type.
Hunting? You know, any kind of hunting games or?
Can you be a little more clear?
Say for a deer hunter.
Any kind of deer hunting games or anything like that?
Are you talking about just in general shoot-'em-ups?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are plenty of shoot-'em-ups.
One that might show the skill of hunting game.
So you're talking about you want something that's a shoot-'em-up, but in the form of hunting.
Yeah, simulating hunting, yes.
Okay.
Do you have anything on the PC like that?
I'm not familiar with any.
No, I don't know of any hunting games.
I can think of shoot-'em-ups like Gauntlet, Cyber Blast. These are shoot-'em-ups.
Nothing
Star Wars,
specific
but
for
not,
hunting, though.
But not.
I know they used to have something in the school that the boys could sit down to play on. It's like, scoping in a deer and how...
I've never seen a program like that.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, why not,
We'll ponder over
if
it.
anybody knows of anything, why don't they call in and tell us? That'd be a
And my
great.
other question is for the PC. I
All right.
have a PC. And my brother-in-law is coming in for the holidays. He's French-speaking. I don't have a game for him that he can sit down to and doesn't have to understand the language to get through. You just have something that's all action.
Oh, he's French. And she doesn't want something that you have to know English in order to play. What's a good PC game, I
hold
guess?
it. That would be any type of game that just requires use of a joystick or keyboard
Right.
commands that are just giving direction. On the Mac, that'd be like Operation Tsunami, Prince of Persia,
Super Tetris?
Super Tetris.
Anything. What do you have here on the PC side? Anything that's good that you don't have to know, actually read or anything or type anything in? Any kind of good adventure game? I guess probably a lot of these flight games or anything else would be good.
Yes, the new flight games is very good for anybody that doesn't speak a lot of English, because it doesn't take a lot to learn the game. And all you have to do is pick up a game like this, Maximum Comanche Overkill. Graphically, it looks very nice. I'll be showing it a little bit later in the show. And as far as gameplay goes, it's just a pure shooting up game, a lot of action.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
All right, thanks for calling. All right. Oh, we'll take another caller here. Herb, do you have a question? What happens with line 2 here? Hello, Herb? You there? Herb? Something's wrong with Herb here tonight. I don't know. I get Herb, please call back. We didn't hang up on you. I didn't mean to hang up on you if I did. I don't know what's wrong. Something seems to be wrong with line 2, so just, we'll take care of it. Minor little problem there. Why don't we talk about this? One thing we want to do is the hardware. Why don't we start on the PC side? I know this is, you don't see the PC because it's sitting on the floor, but why don't we talk a little bit about exactly what hardware we've got hooked up here on both these. We'll start with the PC. What have you got back there in the floor? It's actually a tower.
I have a computer here. It's a 46DX. It's a little bit more power than for the average home user. I have a Super VGA monitor here and a Super VGA card, and I have 8 megabytes on my motherboard. It's today's game, all you really need is 4 is more than adequate. I have a joystick that hooks up to the computer. It will help you with simulation, games that require joystick, including shooting up games. And I have a mouse here. A lot of games nowadays requires a mouse to be played. Venture games, role-playing games. We have board games, the Monopoly I showed earlier in the show. And it's very nice to have both peripherals.
Now this, it's a little different from a Macintosh, but a PC, you need a game port, right?
Yes, normally you need a game port. And if you want a little more enhancement, get a sound card, like a Sound Blaster. In my machine, I have a Sound Blaster also. It includes the game port. And for one price, you get the sound card. If you buy it separately, it's like $20. Spend an extra $80, you get a sound card with it. And this is what it will sound like.
What a deal. And it sounds great. We've got speakers hooked up to this also. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Can they hear that a little bit, or can they hear that? I'm not sure if you can hear that now. Well, when they play a game, you'll be able to hear it. Why don't you tell us a little about what you've got over there? You've got a Mac Classic, right?
Right. Basically, what you're looking at here is an entry-level Mac. Now, regrettably, this has also been a discontinued Mac. It's now the Classic 2. This Mac basically has a CPU of the 6800 Motorola chip. Right. It has a single high-density drive with a 40 meg hard drive built in. It has a basic keyboard. Now, some of you may be noticing I'm spouting a joystick instead of the standard mouse. I haven't touched a mouse probably in about 5 years. The first time I ever touched an alternate input device, I never went back to the mouse. My argument was, just look at it this way. Those of you that use mice, how many times are you playing a game, you're getting deep and dirty into it, next thing you know, your mouse goes off the mouse pad. It kills the game. You cannot enjoy it. So I got the first joystick. This is a Gravis joystick. We'll talk about this later. Right. But the bottom line is this. You're able to hold it in your hand. You've got a decent extension cord. Right. You don't have to worry about where it's sitting. Again, with a mouse, it has to be sitting on a flat pad. Right. You don't have to worry.
And on the Mac, you don't need a game port. You actually plug it right directly into the ADB port, right?
Right. That's another point. As he was talking about, he said that, you need all these cards. You need a sound card. You need a mouse card. A lot of people don't realize that when they go out to look for a computer, they look at a Mac, they see it's expensive. They look at an IBM or even a clone, and they see that it is much less to buy. Well, the bottom line is because it doesn't have all the cards inside. If you want color, you got to have a color card. If you want sound, you got to have a sound card. You want to have a mouse, you got to have a mouse card. By the time you start popping all that into the machine, right, you're getting expensive. Right.
We have some more phone calls. You want to take another caller?
Sure.
See if we can get it right this time. Lex, do you have a phone call? Why do I keep saying that? Do you have a question?
Sure do.
All right, great.
I'd like to have the opinion of each of these gentlemen about the best simulation in sports. In other words, what would be the best football simulation, the best basketball, baseball, and so forth?
I guess this is the best football, right? Front page sports?
Yes. At the moment, front page sports football is probably the best out in the market at the moment. And the best baseball, I think Hardball 3 is looks very nice. And for basketball, Michael Jordan Flight will be out soon, and I'm expecting that to be a big hit too this season.
Michael Jordan?
Yes.
Yeah, his name on it. I'll probably automatically make $1 bajillion.
Yes. And as far as football goes, remember, pick a copy of this, Babbage's. Because once you see it, you won't put your joystick down. You'll be on the computer all day long.
It'll just be a football nut. What about on the Mac?
Okay, in football, Playmaker Football by Brudabun. They probably make the best one, I think, out. They just released a color version of it now, so you have your choice between black and white and color. As far as some other ones, you have PGA Golf, which is made by Activision. Oh, I'm sorry, Electronic Arts. I take that back. And that one makes you feel like you're watching a TV show. It has flyovers of all the holes, replays, change in angles. It's probably one of the best simulation golf games I've ever seen. As far as baseball, I would agree hardball, but on the Mac it's hardball too.
All right.
Is outrageous. The instant replays, all the things it does, is just phenomenal. It's probably one of the best. Let's see, what else? Basketball, like I would say, the one made by Accolade. Can't think of the name off the top of my head. I don't have it. But I know they make a very good one. And there is even some like Shuffle Puck, which is old air hockey. And that's made by Brudabun.
All right. Does that answer your question?
Sure. One other question. The
All right.
SimCity people coming out with anything new and exciting. SimCity used to be a great game.
Right. Okay. What about on the Mac? Is that it?
Okay, you're looking at the latest release from Maxis. It's called A-Train. It is take SimCity and Railroad Tycoon, cross them together, and you basically have A-Train. This is one of the ones they've just released.
Is that on both the PC and the Mac? Or?
Yes, it's
supposed to be coming out. I don't know if it's out yet on the PC. They came out on the Mac first.
Well, there's also, what are all the Sim? There's Sim.
Now, here's the latest one also. Here's Sim Life. First it was Sim City. You be the mayor, create the city. Then it went Sim Earth, in the beginning.
Right.
Then they went Sim Ant, attack a picnic. Now it's Sim Life.
And all those are
basically,
Yes.
Sim Life is where you create your own life forms. And I've gone through the manual, and I say this jokingly, but you almost need to have a little knowledge of genetic engineering. But you can come up with some crazy life forms.
All right. Great. Does that answer your question?
Sure, thanks. It's a great show tonight.
Hey, great. Thanks. Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
All right. I think we need to take a break pretty soon here. Do we need to take a break? Why don't we wrap this up, and when we come back, we're going to be showing some of these games. We'll pick a couple, like 3 or 4 of each, and go back and forth. So go back between the Mac and the PC and show exactly what they look like on the screen. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
The old computer you're putting out to pasture has the power to give new life. Computers you're going to scrap can keep millions of people from ending up on the scrap heap and being written off. Old computers donated to the National Christina Foundation are used to train people with differing abilities so they're alive with the skills society needs. Donate your old computers and other equipment to NCF. Call 1-800-CHRISTINA. Machines you can write off. People you can't.
Want to know how to turn your kid off to school?
Want to really make us not care about learning anything?
Tell me you got to school with no help from your parents, and I'll have to do the same.
When the teacher invites you up for a talk, don't show. Keep on saying girls are no good at math. That'll turn me off.
Face it, when parents don't care, kids don't care. Then they don't learn.
Show me a parent who really cares, and I'll show you a kid who can learn.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. In case you just tuned in, this is the American Computer Enthusiast Show, and tonight is our annual holiday software show. By the way, before I go any further, I need to make sure, I think Dean, one of our other hosts, is watching. He gave me this tie. He made me wear it. You see this there's little Santa Clauses and things on here, and I had to get this red shirt to match the tie and everything else. Dean, I hope you're happy I'm wearing your tie, all right? All right? Anyways, before we, what we're going to do next is we're going to show some of the software. We're going to start here with Vin, and we've all 3 lines of ring, and we're going to try to show as much as we can here. So why don't we go ahead and show, Vin, what are you going to show? What game you got on here right now?
Yes, I have it installed as playing here is Ultimate Underworld. It's probably one of the biggest walkthrough game you might see on the market. It uses like almost a virtual reality perspective.
All right.
As you walk through, everything scrolls, everything's smooth,
Can you get that on the screen there?
As far as action
see it.
goes,
Ooh, spider. Ooh, scary.
Arachnophobia.
All right. What do you do? Oh, I see.
okay, you can use your weapons. It's all mouse-driven, or you use the keyboard. But it's
Now, this
easier
is
with
called
mouse.
what now? What's the name
It's
of it?
Ultima Underworld by Origin.
Oh, okay. That's made in Austin, right? Austin, Texas, I think, is Origin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I made it in Austin, Texas.
All right. And what do you have to? Is it you just
just
kind of
got
go through
killed
the
here.
caves and things? You got? Oh,
Yes.
I talked too much. I just got him killed there. All right. You want to show? I mean, is that when you want to show, or do you want to go? Why don't we just keep? Let's go back and forth. Why don't you go ahead and show yours? Why don't you go ahead and load something else real fast? We're going to show just a couple of seconds of each one of these games. I know we're not going to have time to show the entire game, but we'll go to the Macintosh now. And John, you went over to the Macintosh. We're running our camera guy here. We're running him crazy here. He's a little crazy anyway. But can you get on there? This is lemmings, right?
Right, this is lemmings. And what we have here, these represent little lemmings. A lemming is a creature that during a certain time in the year, they fight to get back to the sea. If they fall off a cliff, don't matter, they just die.
All right.
So they will do anything they can to get where they're going. These are your levels. To do, like I hit new level, and what you see here is enter your access code. As you complete a level, you will be given a code to let you jump up to higher levels without having to keep playing the lower levels each time.
Now, is this a kid's game, or is it a...
This could be anywhere from age 7 up.
All right.
It's a
Even me?
strategy game, more or less.
Even I could get it?
I hope so.
Okay, good.
Here we have, this selects the music or special effects or just quiet.
All right.
We'll put the music on.
All right.
This has the different types of levels: fun, tricky, taxing, mayhem. Let's leave it on mayhem and let's
Kind of
go.
like this show, kind of wild mayhem. All right. Now this is just going to be black and white on here, right?
Right. Now this does run in color on any color Mac. And if you see it running on this classic, the odds are it will run on just about any Mac.
Right.
Now this gives you basically the scenario. You have to get from like this end, they're going to fall down here, and then you got to get them to the castle.
All right. Let's show how it works here. I don't see anything.
Here we go. Loading.
There's the infamous Mac watch. Okay, here.
Okay, this is where they drop from.
Oh,
Now we're going to need a builder. These items down here are your builders.
what is happening here? I can't. Just people falling out of the ceiling there. What do you try to do here? Catch them or something, or
That's
stop
what we're going to find out.
Oh, there it is. All right, I have no idea what's going on. This is great.
I had the demo. We need to make somebody swim.
Okay. Is there like a Mark Spitz thing down there or something? What? All right. All right, I don't see it. Show it. Just kind of show us what's going on here. Okay.
Well, basically, what we've got here.
What's the strategy of this? I mean, what do you
The
try to do?
strategy is to get the lemons from one point to another, and apparently they're falling into water here.
All right. The ice is melting, or whatever that is.
See if this will. Let's try. You got different. They become more.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
He can
good.
walk.
All right. So it kind of looks like Mario Brothers.
And notice when he falls.
All right.
so
So you've got to
this
make
one-
him climb up and go down and everything else. All right. We probably shouldn't have picked Mayhem. We probably should have picked Easy.
Oh, I think we might be able to get out of that.
That's all right. Why don't we go
Anyway,
to
let me just show quickly one thing.
All right.
As you can see, we got that one down there. You can see this structure right here?
That's Meadowlark Lemming, isn't it? I think it is Meadowlark.
Might be.
I don't know.
Now, we also have diggers.
All right. What's this guy do? He goes down underneath or something?
We're going to see if we can make them burrow through.
All right. All right. We better go to the next game here. You want to go to the next one?
This is what you saw
Okay.
earlier, just to show you all the obstacles. You got to get from here, you got to build a bridge like here, and then you
Oh,
got to
I
build
see.
another bridge to over here.
And that's what the things are along the bottom, the little things to make the bridges.
Well, you have numbers, like all these have different numbers. Like
Right.
this one will cause one to explode.
All right.
You also have a command to make them nuke.
All right.
Right here, this particular command right here, if I click it twice, you will see, we go back to the lemons, notice he's
Right.
got a countdown on
Right.
him. He's going to explode.
Oh, that. An exploding lemming.
There he goes.
There he goes. Okay. He's history. All right. Okay, we'll move to the PC now. Let's move to the PC, and we'll keep going back and forth. Okay, what's this one?
Okay, I'm showing a demo of Comanche here. This is the new simulation. It uses a new technology. It's called voxel space. It's a lot of fun. It's more arcadish than it is a simulation. If you just watch through the demo here, it'll show what's going to look like.
That's great looking graphics.
Yeah, this is a new technology, like I said. NovaLogic is a new company, and this is their first product, and I believe it's going to be a big, big hit.
Well, what does something like this cost?
This runs for only, I believe, it's $49.99.
Great.
So it's
I hope my wife's listening. This is what I want for Christmas, all right, Kay? All right, this is it. This looks pretty great. This looks pretty fun. All right. Now, this is just a running demo. Is that what this is?
Yes, this is a running demo at the moment. This is what to give you for an introduction to the game.
All right. All right, this is great. That's pretty fun graphics.
But I do have to remind you one thing. This requires a lot. It runs in 32-bit native mode, so you need a 386 or above with 4 megabytes of RAM.
All right. Great. Well, that looks pretty great. Now you want to switch to the Mac? Can you switch to the Mac? Should we make some? Let's take a couple of quick phone calls, and then we're going to show my favorite game. I know it. Everybody thinks I'm weird, but I love Tetris. All right. Hold on one second. You want to take some phone calls?
Sure.
Okay. Well, just hold on one second. We'll go to some phone calls here. Herb, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, I don't know. I hung up on you or something. I don't know what happened.
Hi.
All right. Do you have a question?
What I want to know is what's good in card games? You know, CARD games?
Oh, card games.
Yeah, card games.
All right. What about card game? On the Mac or the PC?
For the Mac and the RDM.
That's right. You have both, don't you? Herb calls all the time.
Robert knows me. I go to his meetings at Hog.
All right. What do you have for on PCs?
Okay, what's out there is like Bridge 2 just came out. It's a very popular bridge program. And there's also Solitaire Journey. It includes 105 solitaire games. It's very popular. It runs in high resolution. Supports color. And there's Hoyle books of Solitaire 2. And it has 28 solitaire games. That's a lot of fun. Sierra products usually much easier to play, enjoyable for the whole family.
That was Sierra. They make a lot of games, don't they, Sierra?
Yes.
Right.
They develop very.
Do they make them on the Mac, too?
That's what I was just going to say. Hoyle's Book of Games, Volumes 1 and 2, they're out on the Mac. Volume 3 is coming out sometime in the next couple of months. You also have by Spectrum Holobyte, Solitaire Royale, which is a real oldie, and I can tell you right now, if you've got an old Mac that's a 512, that will run on a 512 Mac, and I mean standard. So there's one of those that have real ancient Macs. You've got a game out there that you could play. There are several other solitaire-style games. Interplay is going to have a couple coming out in the near future.
All right. Does that answer your question, Herb?
Yeah, sure does.
Great. How do you like the show? Is it all right?
Yeah, real good, real good.
Great. I know. I didn't know if you were a game guy or not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my wife is crazy about games.
Oh, okay. Great. Hey, thanks for calling.
Okay, Steve.
All right,
Have
we
a
got-
good holiday.
Okay, you too. Thanks. Jack, do you have a phone? What I keep saying, I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. Do you have a question?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
If I could just talk, that'd be great.
show tonight. I really appreciate this.
Oh, great.
You are going to put up on the screen the phone numbers for these two gentlemen, aren't you?
Well, I guess, well,
well, you can contact me at Sharpstown Babbage's at 995-5758.
995
5758.
5758.
58.
One question for you.
All right.
Yes.
I have a daughter, 12th grade in high school. She likes games. I wonder if I could help her with algebra with one of these games. You mentioned something about physics.
Yes, there is a game out there for the PCs called Algebra Blaster, and it's like Math Blaster, a very popular selling program. It helps a lot with algebra, and it gives you a game format so that you have fun while you're learning.
Outstanding.
Great.
I think that'll do it. I certainly do. Thank you. Great show.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you want to...
I want to add to that. There are 3 very, very good education companies, and more are developing all the time. Folks, one thing I can tell you right now, the education market and computers are getting closer and closer. The amount of educational software that's coming out is incredible. Algebra Blaster is incredible. I believe that's made by Davidson.
Yes.
Davidson is one of the biggest educational companies around. Another company that you should look at, the Learning Company. They are excellent. and EduCorp. All you got to do is just get some educational catalogs, dig into them, know what you have, read them carefully, and see if what you want is there. If it's not there yet, give it time. It will be. But almost every type of educational need you have. They got stuff now out that goes down to age 2.
Right.
So the whole scope is there.
That's Tuesday.
Great. Hey, thanks for calling.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Do you want to go ahead and show?
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and we've got some more phone callers, but we'll never show anything if we don't just dive into it. Okay, what do you have here?
Okay, we got here the latest addition to the Tetris family. As many people who play on PCs knows, first Tetris came out, then Weltris, then Faces, then Wordtris, and after 5 games, where do you go from there? Well, the bottom line is you go back to square one and redo it, and that's exactly what Spectrum Holobyte did. We have now Super Tetris. And Super Tetris blows the original Tetris away. If you've ever played regular Tetris, you'll never go back to it again. Basically, the graphics get better and better. You have here single player unlimited, time limits for single player. You have cooperative, where 2 people work together, competitive, where they work against each other, and head-to-head. You can also communicate over a modem. Besides that, you got your level choices, and I'm going to take ours up to about level 4 so we get the full feeling of it.
Right.
Then here, you've got an open game. That means you can save your game. Then new game, which is what we're now going to go into. All the artwork you see is based on the Russian circus. If you are not aware of the person who programs this game, he is Russian. He brought Glasnost to our country, computer style, in the form of Tetris. And the object of the game is you take the pieces that you see coming down, and you are to form straight horizontal lines. Now, I'm about to hit a bomb. Watch what happens. I now got the shape of the piece that I had just destroyed. Bombs can be very useful because of the fact you can use them to clear extra pieces away.
Right.
Or if you make a real bad mistake.
Now, it's real hard to go back to regular Tetris once you played this because you're looking for those bombs and everything else. You get killed almost immediately.
Oh, well, bombs won't kill you. What they do basically is they just enhance the game. Like, watch what happens with that piece.
I mean, on the regular Tetris, when you go back to Tetris, you don't have the bombs.
I deleted an entire line when I hit that squiggly piece. My wife and I have, when Tetris first came out, we had a war going on between her and I swore that she'd never beat me. I have to admit, she beat me on regular Tetris. I defy her to beat me on Super Tetris.
Tetris is addicting. I mean, it's...
Do you hear me, Tracy?
Now, this is available for the DOS also,
right.
And for DOS and Windows, right?
Yes.
There's a DOS version and a Windows
DOS.
version.
The beautiful thing is, you really have to think fast.
That's why I have a problem with it. I can hardly talk, you know, let alone...
But I find the playability of the game is really exceptional. Like right here, I got this diagonal.
All right.
I've got a straight one. Let me just take this next straight one.
All right.
One other feature that I used to hate on the original Tetris was when you would drop a piece, you would find that it would keep dropping. Now you can control the drop. You don't have to just drop it. You can let go and it'll drop.
You can make it go faster, too. If you hold on the down.
It'll start falling at a steady pace.
Right.
But when you let go, it then will stop dropping fast.
Right.
Now, the way you lose the game is just when you drop it, let's just...
And it stacks to the top.
When you hit the top,
All
actually
right.
there's 2 ways. This number here represents the number of pieces you're using.
Right.
If that goes to 0 and you have not cleared the well, that's it.
Okay,
Game
let's
ends.
go to the next game. Okay, what do we? Let's go on the PC side. Let's go to here. Look at the phones are going crazy here.
Okay, I'm just showing you the game that's been out for a while, Wing Commander 2. But it is very popular, and it talks. It has state-of-the-art graphics, and they will be coming out with Privateer.
It's great sound too.
Yeah.
All right.
They will be coming out with Privateer as a continuation of like Wing Commander, and they're also coming out with Strike Commander. Strike Commander uses the same type of technology. You get to fly the F-16. It's the future, and there's a war going on. It will be coming out, and something else to be looking forward to is by Lucasfilm. They're releasing X-Wing. It uses the same type bitmap graphics. I recommend you look at these titles when it comes out right before Christmas, hopefully.
Now this, you need a joystick for this, right? I mean, some sort of or this work with a mouse?
It works with the mouse also. You can use a mouse or a joystick.
All right. Why don't we take some other more phone calls? You want to take some more phone calls? See if I can. For some reason, I can't talk tonight.
Take some questions.
Yeah, we'll take some questions here. Robert, do you have a question?
Yes. What I was wondering is, all these games seem to be first-generation games. In the Lawnmower Man movie, they had virtual reality. Is there or will there be any virtual reality games on the market, and will they have the accessories like the Nintendo glove and helmet?
As far as the equipment goes, there are machines available. They run on the Amigas. And the Amiga, right now, virtual reality is just a prototype stage. So it will cost you a minimum about $20,000 to $30,000 just to set up. And it's very expensive, but they are working on the IBM version, and it will be available hopefully within 5 years.
What size PC do you think it's going to be able to run on?
It's recommended the faster the better, so for 46 to 386 is what they're looking forward to.
All right, one thing that I want to tell you about is one book. I buy every book there is known to man, but one great book that's out there now is Virtual Reality Playhouse. Have you ever seen this book? I just saw it reviewed, but I've had it for a couple of months now. It actually has, it's all about virtual reality. It comes with a disc. It's got, even comes with 3D glasses so you can wear them and see what's going on. But it actually shows how to hook up a Nintendo glove to a PC. It has the wiring diagram and everything in it. I actually saw this the other day at Pace, those new superstores.
What's the name of that book again?
It's called Virtual Reality Playhouse. I actually got this one at the book stop, but it's $22. But it comes with it comes with all kinds of great stuff. There's another book here I just happened to bring. Now that we brought virtual reality, because it is one called Image Labs. It's a great one. It's got all kinds of great fun stuff in it too, made by the same people, the Wait Group. But does that answer your question?
Yeah, on that glove, do you know anything about that? Does that have to hook up to a serial?
Yeah, I think it is a serial port. You may have to, well, you can check out this book, and it's got all the diagrams and everything else in there. All right?
I'd like to see a show on that someday.
Yeah, well, we tried to line one up. We'll try to do it.
Okay, very good.
All right, thanks. Jim, do you have a question?
Yeah, are you talking to me?
Jim, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I called you a little bit earlier. I was your first caller tonight.
All right.
The gentleman that called and said products to learn algebra, there's a product called Mission Algebra, and it's made by Britannia Software out in San Francisco. And what it is your sister ship is lost out in space, and you have to learn how to solve simultaneous linear equations in order to locate the other ship. When my daughter was 13 years old and struggling through algebra, we put that game on her computer. She learned how to solve simultaneous linear equations without ever knowing what it was that she was learning because she was playing the game. We'd come in at 7 o'clock on Saturday morning. She'd be sitting there pounding away at algebra, not knowing, just like the Apple gentleman said, never knowing that she was actually learning while she was having fun.
Right.
And that's when people learn the best.
Great.
Again, happy holidays, you
Hey,
guys.
thanks for calling. We'll see you later. We have to take a quick break here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Portions of this show have been made possible by PC People, Houston's user-friendly source for business software, serving the business and academic communities. Call PC People at 789-6300 and talk to our dedicated staff when you're looking for intelligent answers to your software needs. And by Total CAD Systems, specializing in the sales, service, and support of CAD software and hardware for the PC, Macintosh, and Sun. Total CAD Systems is an authorized dealer for AutoCAD, the leader in computer-aided design software. Call 721-CADD. And by Arc Image, creators of award-winning computer graphics and animation. For advertising, illustration, presentation, and communications, Arc Image can show you a better way to tell your story.
Want to know how to turn your kid off to school?
Want to really make us not care about learning anything?
Tell me you got to school with no help from your parents, and I'll have to do the same.
When the teacher invites you to a first talk, don't show. Keep on saying girls are no good at math. That'll turn me off.
Face it, when parents don't care, kids don't care. Then they don't learn.
Show me a parent who really cares, and I'll show you a kid who can learn.
Hi, everyone. In case you just tuned in, this is our last segment. This is the American Computer Enthusiast Show. My name's Steve Reeves, and our show tonight was on, it's our holiday software show. And we've been talking about all kinds of PC games and Mac games, and we've been showing all kinds of different things. We have a bunch of people on the phone, but we're only going to have time for one more. And I want to apologize to anyone that didn't get through. We'll have to have another show on games one of these days, because it seems to be pretty popular. Why don't we go right to the phone, and we'll take this next question, and then we'll go right to the Mac. Okay, hold on one second here. John, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. I have a couple here.
Okay, can you just ask us one? We only have about 3 minutes left.
Sure. Okay. I've got the Civilization game.
All right.
On the Amiga.
All right.
I want to know if you could suggest any other strategic war games similar to Civilization.
Anybody for the Amiga?
Yes, sir.
You sell Amiga?
I do have a Mac too, but.
No, I don't.
All right. Do either one of you know Amiga games or anything for the Amiga?
Not well, no. No, I don't want to pass information on that I wouldn't know.
We have a guy here. We ought to get we'll have your phone number. We've got a guy that does a lot of work here at the show that knows all about Amigas. We could have him call you or something. Maybe he could suggest some things.
Well, I do have a PC and a Mac as well, but
all right.
I use the Amiga mainly for games because the graphics.
Okay. Well, we'll call you back. How about that?
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks for calling. Why don't we go, Robert? Why don't you show us another game here on the Mac?
Okay, this game that you're going to see is made by Inline Design. It's called the Tinies. And this is a first because it just came out and it's not even in the stores. You should see them within the next week or two. Tinies are an incredibly lazy lot. They're filthy, lazy, they dirty everything up, and the planet that they live on has decided they're going to scoop them all up and make sure that they are going to go to sleep and not dirty the planet. And it is your job to get them back in their sleep chambers. And what you have here is here's the basic premise. You click on a Tiny, and then you have to move them to the sleep chamber. And then he goes to bed. Now, this is just a very simple one. They also make some rather unique sounds as you play the game. I began getting up in levels on this, and I began seeing why this is tricky. Because you have to move them from one point to the other. Now, we have to move these we've got 4 of them, and we have to move them into the proper color. Now, in color, this looks exquisite. So what I have to do is I have to take him, and I got to put him there.
And those are Tinies, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But they will fight you. They can.
All right.
There they work. They also will walk right into the walls.
Right.
Now, as soon as I get him in there,
we want to wrap it up here.
I just want to go one more screen quickly. I'll make it.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna have to wrap it up. Okay. We've only got about 30 seconds left.
Ooh.
One thing I want to thank both our guests. We've got Robert Lewis, and thanks for coming. And we have Vin Jung and from Babbage's. I want to thank you both for coming. This is a pretty good show. I can't believe we ran out of time. We've got so many things to show. We've got things piled up all over. I didn't even get to talk about half the things I brought here. I want to make sure everybody watches next week's show. It's our holiday hardware show. It'll be all 3 guests will be dressed up, and it'll be a great show. Nice hat, huh, by the way. I want to thank everyone for watching. Happy holidays. We'll see you later.